Hello and welcome, everybody. Whew. I'm hoping you all had a fabulous Christmas. Yes, and I saw that the malls were just crazy yesterday on Boxing Day. People were shopping. That's crazy. Hello. I don't understand. I don't understand. I guess I'm not meant to understand. You know, they tell you one thing. They tell you don't do this with your family, but you can go and spend your money that you don't have on Boxing Day. How fucking stupid is that? That's all I gotta say to that. That's fucking stupid. I don't care if you shop on Boxing Day or you don't shop on Boxing Day, but hey, man, it's just like you gotta do you. You gotta do you. I hope you know what? I hope you all did get together with family, and I really hope that you had a fabulous Christmas and enjoyment. And that's the whole thing about Christmas. It's about coming together in coming together with family. And I guess there's so many people that were fearful, but not fearful enough to stop the crowds from going into crazy lineups and and having to shut stores down so they can't because there's too many people in the mall. Isn't that nutty? Isn't that nutty? So welcome, everybody. My name, after that speway, who is she? My name is Mary Jane Tracy, and I'm a psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and an astrologer coming to you with your 411 of the Cosmic Highway, and a little bit of my 2 bits of the day and of the energies that are coming in. Tonight is peek into 2021. Hey, man, it's I was doing a little research, doing a little peeking in myself, and it's, you know what, it's going to be a cosmic year. It's going to be a cosmic year, and so those who are joining me tonight, I am so excited for us to just, we're going to do a little bit of a review of 2020 and then go into 2021 and how a lot of the energies that have happened with 2020 are coming into 2021. It's not going, I mean, I'm sorry to say that January 1st hits and like, okay, we're done. I know so many people are, what are they doing? They're burning the dumpster. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. You think it's like, oh, it's all over. Wait until you put your skis on for 2021, because it's going to be one crazy ride. And there's going to be so many unexpected turns because we got Uranus coming in as a heavy hitter for 2021. It's going to be cosmic. Cosmic, that's what I'm going to say. It's cosmic. Today, the moon's still in Gemini, man. The moon's in there in Gemini. It's going to be there for... Let's take a look here as we go through our... Bump, 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 bump. Moves a bit. He's going to be there for most of the day. Let's move it into a day. And bang. Let's see, part 3. Hold on. Got to redo this. Let's see the next day. So the moon goes into... tomorrow at 8:55, we have the moon going into Cancer. And the new moon will be official on the 30th. So we have, just let me pull up another one because that one wasn't working too well. I didn't like how the alignment of the planets were going. Hey, that's life, you know? And I'm going to do a few horoscopes today too, so don't go away. I'm not going to do it the usual way. I'm just going to go through. I got some notes that I will be writing out. So the moon is at 20 degrees in Gemini. And it is moving towards Aquarius. It's going to be at about 9 degrees when it goes for that full moon aspect, because the moon or the sun right now is at 7 and Mercury is at 12. So the thing is that what we're coming into with this moon, the moon in the opposition, is the first time in 3 years that we will not have the sun or the moon opposing Saturn in Capricorn. So this is the first time. It opposed it in Gemini. So this will be where the opposition will be mainly with Pluto for these coming years, for these next few years. And that the moon is going to be in opposition as it comes into Gemini. And the sun is going to come into opposition with this year. We're going to have the sun going to be opposing Jupiter and opposing Saturn this year. So your soul, we're going to talk about a little bit of that too, tonight, but your soul is going to be, because that's what your sun is. Your sun is your soul. That is that Leo energy. So when the sun is in Leo this year, it's going to hit Jupiter and then it's going to hit Saturn. So it's going to be feeling pretty funky. With that sun opposition when the sun goes into Leo this year, and also with the moon, because the moon's going to be hitting this once. It's going to be hitting it once a month. So even after this Cancer moon, full moon, and when the moon goes into Leo, we're going to feel that. We're going to feel those oppositions that are going to be coming in with that Gemini and that Jupiter. Or with a Gemini, not Gemini. Gemini's out the door. Out of here, Geminis. You guys are bugging me. It's going to be with that Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, so that opposition. And it is, we're going to be having throughout this year with the sun going into a T-square when it comes into this opposition, and as Neptune is going, or Uranus is going to be squaring those dudes. So Jupiter's a lot happier in Aquarius than he is in Capricorn, but it's still a part of his dad's house and his grandfather's house, because his grandfather's Uranus, and it was Uranus and Saturn. So it was Saturn who went after Uranus. It's Kronos. There's a reason why you don't see a lot of monuments to Kronos. Hail Kronos! Or the same with Saturn. Saturn is Saturday. There's a reason, even for how Judaism is set up. They have their, they go to temple on Saturday, because that is a day of getting things done, of working, and things have to be done in a certain way. And you read the Torah in a certain way. You have, everything is all set up. So it's interesting how the energies are going to be doing these huge switching. And this moon is going to be a very emotional moon for a lot of people. And being in Cancer, and with that opposition with Mercury, still trying to search for answers, definitely wanting to search for answers, still trying to figure, what is my next move? What do I need to be doing? And I pulled out the Wheel of Fortune this morning on the morning reading, which is on Parler. So you can go look it up on Parler. Look me up on Parler. Delays are over. So there's sudden changes that are coming in for us. And this is unexpected good luck. You might have been waiting on something and it comes in. So some really good positive vibes are coming in. The key here, it's like your positive vibes are creating this positive vibe. You cannot be expected to have others or other people or organizations to create that positive vibe for you. That's going to be one of the key factors, right? And hey, Heather, thank you. And this is where it's like a bright future, but it's for you to create. You're the one who has to be in this. You're the one who has to do this. If you've been sitting around waiting, waiting for this, waiting for that, you're gonna find it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna be, what you expect it. And confusions arise when you procrastinate. So procrastination. So there's a lot of this energy that's coming in that, you gotta design what you need to design for you. And there's going to be a lot of changes within social media. We're already seeing it. I mean, after the rules of what Instagram, even though you may not have realized it, but if you have an Instagram account, you complied to it without even signing anything, so it's one of those things. So there's our new groups. There's Parler. Parler is owned by two brothers, I believe, in Dubai, who started in 2013. So we have Parler starting up. We got Telegraph that started off. So we're going to start seeing more offshoots of social media, right? So that, I mean, anything to do with electronics, anything to do with data, .coms kind of thing, because in 2000 it died, but a lot of people stayed with it. Amazon died in 2000. Amazon died in 2000 because people said nobody's going to buy off the internet. God, I should have bought some fucking stocks back then. And same with Apple. Everybody thought Apple was dead. It's called Macintosh, right? So everybody thought Apple was dead. Why go for Apple? And look at who came up. Microsoft just kept plugging along, and then off came, of course, everybody. How many people own iPhones now? Right? So things that you think are going to die away may not. Things that you thought are going to stay forever will not. So this is where it's like, even when I was taking business classes years ago with Leona Dawson, And when I'm taking the courses with Leona, one of the things is that, she says, always keep your options open. Because, especially because social media, and I've been doing things with Leonie for a long time. And one of the things is that she always said, keeping your options open, especially because social media is a way for businesses. That's the way you get business and people find you and things like that. It's not, yes, it's word of mouth, but when people hear about you, they're going to check out your website. They're going to check you out on Facebook first, right? Who is she? What does she do? What does he do? Right? So, but she always said to keep those options open, because right now, back when it was like Facebook was the place, and with all the changes and everything that happened within Facebook, it's like, people are going like, do I really trust this? Do I really want to, keep going with this, right? So now it's where change is happening, where we are starting to look at, okay, maybe there's something new that has to go on. So February 1st on the Embolic, I'll be opening up on Patreon and having different tiers on Patreon for people to join me on Patreon. So changes, and this is where, it's so perfect for me, because it's, stop the procrastination. I really, I've been working on it, dabbling on it here and there, but I really have to get on it and get moving on it. So that's one. I looked at Hap, I'm not sure, but staying here with StreamYard is something that I can start adding on to, where I'm able to utilize different things from, I think it's from Telegram, that I can have a private group on Telegram, a messenger group, very similar to that of Facebook, but I can have it on Telegram and bring people over to Telegram and have a private messenger group there. Absolutely fabulous, which I really want to do, and that's going to be part of the Parler, is that to have a private messenger group, because it's secure. Your messenger is not secure, and I know many people say, well, I've never had messenger, I really don't like it, and all this. Well, it was a form of communication, form of activating groups and doing a lot of things. It does a lot of great things. Same with private Facebook groups. And right now I do have my Celtic private Facebook group, which is awesome. But, eventually that is going to be going on to Parler, right? So it's bringing in where people can go to a place that feels safe and secure, and you can be your individual person, because even private groups on Facebook or even on Instagram, I'm not sure if you can do it on Instagram, but anyways, private groups, they still have, the powers that be who own it have access to it. And if there's things that are going on there, bye-bye. So, for instance, Astrology Hub. I'm a part of Astrology Hub. They had for their readers or the astrologers for 2021, and they have different group things where you meet them and then they talk about their perspectives and things like that. One of them, and it was funny because one of the astrologers was coming up and he just happened to be watching, or just happened to talk about the inauguration of the president of the United States that happens in January and the planetary alignments. Their video got cut off. Facebook would not allow their video to upload. It's crazy. Totally crazy. So that kind of shit, you're going to see a lot more of that kind of shit coming down. And as I say, right now, I'm just floating underneath the radar, which is fine with me. I like to float underneath the radar. That's where I like to be. I don't like to be too far above, but you know what? If I do get too when I start getting above the radar and people start noticing more, hallelujah. So that'll be a great day too. That'll be a fabulous day of celebration, where people start recognizing and start following me even more. So, and creating more vastness of greatness and goodness for people. So let's look at things this week. I did post up, I posted it up. Thank you. It was Heather who told me about, because I was posting, I'm hoping it all worked out, because I did this later. I was doing my research. I was doing something. I said, well, let me get the weeklies up for your astrological sign. And it was like, I think I messed it up. I really do think I messed it up. So let's look into that of Aquarius this week. So Aquarius, let's look into Aries, not Aquarius, Aries. So I'm reading my notes. So this is about embracing inclusion and positivity and sets goals with meaning. Take no notice of the fact we are still in December and the new year starts here. The 21st sees two areas of your chart highlighted, and one in an area that you've never experienced before. First, we had the solstice on December 21st. This is the winter solstice in the north, and the summer solstice in the south. The shortest and the longest day, in other words, and the day the sun entered Capricorn on your 10th house. So Capricorn rules authority structures and those at the top of the heap. Historically, these have dominated by males of certain races and social standings. The man in the high castle, in other words. In your chart, this is a house of career, reputation, and public image. It shows how high you can climb, and these past years, that climb may have been fraught with obstacles and difficulties and hard work for little to gain. So get ready for the great, with this conjunction, when the sun arrives this time, however, there's a different vibe with that Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, and that have left this sign on the same day, and they meet in Aquarius. Okay, so they met in Aquarius and they're still there. What does that mean for Aries? Well, the blocks to progress with regards to your long-term ambition, be they personal or professional, are gone. The difficulties you may have faced since the end of 2017 are end, replacing these with new, more meaningful goals for the future. Friends, groups, being part of something. So there's some really positive energy coming in there for Aries, and along with Mars going forward and direct. So this is bringing in some real positive vibes for you. Okay, so hallelujah. Hopefully you guys won't be as bitchy as usual, and you guys are going to be a little bit more happy. We want happy Aries. We don't want grumpy, angry Aries, right? So, and plus, when it comes to Mars, Mars is going to be leaving out of Aries in January, but Mars is going to be in shadow still at 27 degrees of Aries on New Year's Eve to New Year's Day for the whole world. This is another thing that we haven't had in a long time. Usually, I think it was like, was it 2018? Where it went from Pisces, it retrograded from Pisces and then went back into Aries. So it's been where it's been in one half, one sign for part of the world and in another sign for another part of the world. But it hasn't been fully in Aries, which is its home sign, for a very long time. So that is like, there's a lot of rumblings that are going to be coming up out of that energy on January or December 31st. So let us head over to little Taurus. So you have something to talk about. You got to ask the future for what you want and share those thoughts and aim for the future. So the end of 2020 with the real conversations, say what needs to be said. Now this could take place between you and a significant other, a friend, or perhaps even a dialogue with yourself via journaling or meditation. What matters is you talk it out. Tauruses, you got to talk it out. Don't leave things unsaid as we head into 2021. You got to make sure that you are clearing your slate this week and enter the process from the 28th as the sun is in your 9th and it trines Uranus in your 1st. So just 2 days before the say it anyway full moon in your 3rd asks for emotional honesty. Ruler Venus is in is your other money house is in your 8th. So there's empowerment, sharing joint matters. Yes, even maybe a little bit of wink, wink, nudge, nudge for you. But it will square Neptune in your 11th on the 30th and oppose the North nodes in Venus ruling 2nd. That Venus South node is something to pay attention to and not get lost in the illusions of the energies that are coming in. Because Venus is there, and with it being in Sagittarius, it can bring in a lot of illusional energy, and it's squaring Neptune. So for Tauruses, they're going to really feel that because that is their ruler, right? So wherever you're ruler of your house, you look at where it is, that has a lot of effect on you and how that's going to pertain to you. Plus, as we go into 2021, you have Uranus in your house, and it's going to be squaring Saturn, not once, but 3 times. And those squares last a long time. And it's going to make a T-square to that of Leo throughout the month. So this is going to be where for you, my Taurians, you really got to be on your toes. You really got to be like making sure that what you want and where you want to go, you are being active in doing it and not sitting and being that procrastinating, slow-moving little Taurus that you are. Because this is going to have a lot to do with the people that you know, the people around you, and your money house. You're the ruler, you're the bullion. So there's going to be a lot to do with money, how you where is your money? How are you earning your money? And who are the people you want to be with? The energies are setting us up for the next 20 years. That's for all of us. Okay? So that Jupiter-Saturn conjunction happened in 2000. It's setting us up. What were you doing in 2000? What was happening in 2000? Now we come into the completion of that cycle in 2020, and we're looking at the next 20 years of setting up. And Tauruses, this is going to be important for you because we don't like unhappy bulls. It's going to be important to all of us of making sure that we are getting ourselves properly set up. Geminis. Gemini. I'm going in order of the astrological signs. That's what I'm doing. So Geminis, align your values. You are more than enough, and start the new year with self-love. Venus sits in your 7th in your chart, and we have a full moon appearing on the 30th. And Venus's other house. So your second is your second on the 30th. This day also sees Venus make a tightly bound angle to Neptune in your 10th. There's There's questions around the time of this full moon, around your status, your values, and this could relate to your job or even your relationship status due to the trine between the Sun in your 8th and Uranus in your 12th. How you see yourself and how you feel, you are defined by what you have or earn. It's your job title, whether you are single, married, divorced, etc. Before 2021 starts, the old year wants you to look back and understand you are much more than any of these things. Setting a new benchmark of partnerships, love, and how you see yourself is a part of your process, and we segage from one year to the next. New Year's Eve brings some love karma there for you. So perhaps stretching back 19 years to 2002, or sets a new cycle in motion on your value system. Value system is going to be huge for all of us. Huge. That's what I'm saying. Your values are going to be huge. And what it is, conjunct the South Node, which is conjunct to the South Node, Venus. What's the price of love for you, Gemini? The key to 2021 is knowing you deserve all the goodies, love, adoration, and success, just the way you are. Don't change a thing except how you value yourself. Whoa! Value system, that's the next thing that's going to be coming in. Hey, I got my coffee. It was hell to get my coffee this morning, just to say. Mama needs winter tires. So, hey, people, I need help. I'm putting my goal out. I need winter tires desperately in order for me to do the things I do. And so, hey, if you can help me out in any way, Mama needs winter tires. So this is the shirt my husband bought me for Christmas. So we're going to go back to the winter tires. I'm in love with coffee. That's my shirt. He got me a nice sparkly shirt for Christmas, and it's like, I'm in love with coffee. There's my shirt, and there's my coffee. Woo. So I'm going to start, I might start up a donation thing for winter tires. So I have been feeling the value upgrade, Yes. You got to have that value upgrade. But after this morning, I got stuck because I don't have winter tires. I might have a 4-wheel drive, but that means nothing when you don't have winter tires. In the front of our house, it's just ridiculous, just totally ridiculous. So we're going on to Cancer. Let others in your inner world, who is traveling into your future with you. 2021 brings in a new cycle of intimacy and sharing. So the full moon is in your 1st on the 30th and shines a light on a particular person in your life, or even a blank space waiting to be filled. And with the sun in your 7th, as it always is at this time of year, look at how you want to be relating to others in 2021. One close connection could be at the heart of this. So this full moon is always an important one for you, as it is asking you to share your thoughts and your feelings, the real truth about you with at least one other person. This could even be a close friend, people who have ability to be influenced in your future path will feature as the sun in your 7th trines Uranus in its 11th on the 28th. And it's going to lead you up to this. So we have this energy that's going to lead you to a new place, right? Not sure exactly how it's going to look because you got Uranus in there. So when Uranus gets in the mix, we know it could be anything. So this is wanting, for you to put down what it is truly what you need to put down. Venus sits in your 6th as the year winds down and asking you to free yourself of a rut or something that ties you to the past in an unhealthy way. So there could be a habit that you have that you need to give up. So maybe you have, maybe you have a toke before bed or a glass of wine, or maybe you, there's a habit that you have that you need to just give up, and it's time. And this is giving you the energy to do it. And then opposes the North Node in your 12th on the final day of the year. For some, this could take a full circle back in the time of 2022. So you may radically reframe the past, escaping the cycle system by seeing events in a new way, or close off one cycle to begin anew. So this is what's really great about this energy too, because, seeing what happened back from 2020, back to the year 2000, 2001, 2002, looking at that energy, looking at it and saying, let's get things done. GoFundMe page for tires. Hey, can I do that? Can I do that? I don't know. I just feel weird if I did that. But that would be cool. Maybe I will. I don't know. Just go for it. I know there was a GoFundMe page just off the topic. I know I'm going on to Leo. Okay, just hang on. Safety first, exactly. That someone did a GoFundMe page for when was this? A couple years ago, and I think they did it for their wedding because they wanted to have a wedding in Jamaica or something. So they started a GoFundMe page to raise money so that she could have her wedding in. I thought that was kind of like unique, but it's like, oh, that's not really a priority, I guess. I think what a priority would probably be would be my winter tires. My winter tires, I think, are a priority right now because I thought for sure I could get away this winter without getting tires until the spring. That was my goal. And then I was going to get the tires in the spring because I was told that there was enough tread on there and what have you, and we should be fine. But this dump of snow, has just fucked everything up. And they're not cleaning the roads the way they used to. Just saying, maybe they're not doing it the way they used to do it, but it's, but I just, I don't think they clean the roads as well as what they had in the past years. And we've had graders come down our road before, and this year we didn't. So, oh well, off we go on to the Leo. Leos, what's your new recipe for success, my lovely Leos? Connect with your past. Dream a bigger dream for 21. Despite Venus in your fabulizing 5th, you may be ending the year in a contemplative mood. So dive into the realms of your imagination on the 30th when the full moon illuminates your 12th, and this is a time to visualize what you want to do. Attract and experience into 2021. Explore pure imaginations, my little Leos. Sometimes we need to take the plunge into the realms of imagination. This moon links you to the biggest dreams and the biggest emotional needs. It tells you if you can dream it, you can do it. Venus squares Neptune in your 8th on the same day. Neptune rules the 12th. So this process may also involve redefining your career path and success for the year ahead. Due to Uranus in your 10th, many of you may be thinking about just about what adds up to success. And there's a quote by Derek Zoolander, a successful human being. So to quote Derek Zoolander, a successful human being, your ruler shining on Uranus from your 6th could have many of you committing not committed, but committing to a new kind of success story in your 2021. So, as he says, a successful human being. What is? Many of you are thinking about what adds up to success. So, what is a successful human being? And New Year's Eve could see you connect with others via Zoom or other means. Don't be surprised if getting ready to welcome this new energy into this new year, including your dressing up like you are ready to partay, even if you're staying at home. Venus will oppose the North Node in the 11th, bringing back old friends and contact karma. Also, a revival of an old goal. So look and feel like you have already attained what you have for 2021 as the old year ends. Dreams, dream, my little Leos, dream some big dreams. This is time to step into it and get yourself going and start dreaming. Yeah. And as we go on to from Leo, we have the lovely and the virtuous Virgos. My little Virgos. Oh, what is going on? Keep on evolving. Explore the benefits and change has brought you and what's the hidden truth around goals. As you prepare, say farewell to 2020, look back to the changes and shifts you have made. How flexible and adaptable have you been? It's a process for sure. And yes, in some instances, you will be feeling this was forced on you as opposed to being voluntary. The sun in your fifth, making a trine to Uranus on the 28th, should, however, show you the desperate areas much of this has been to your benefit. This week's full moon occurs in Uranus's ruling house in your chart. Time to look closely at your goals. Have they shifted along the way? This isn't about a resolution, which, let's face it, most of us don't stick to anyways. It's about something deeper and more emotionally and satisfying. Reconnect, recommit under the moon if necessary. Venus squares Neptune in your seventh on the same day. Does this involve someone you live with? Do changes need to occur in the new year around home, family, or living arrangements? Are you putting these off or telling yourself what you want isn't actually important? Karma from 19 years ago could return now with regards to the status of your lifestyle or ambitions. So the result of the choices that you've made or not made and the path that you have forgotten. Are you satisfied with the results? If not, you get to make a fresh choice for 2021. Stick to the evolution, my dear Virgos. This is stepping into things and looking at it, because a lot of us are going to be having this energy that's coming back from 2000 to 2002 and the changes that are going to be coming in. This is one of the reasons why I've mentioned, about flying. Drastic changes are going to be happening next year, and knowing your surrounding, knowing everything about and what's going on, including government. If you're going to a foreign country and flying in there and you don't know their government, their laws, it's not a time to leave. So even, and that's the other thing that for 2021 is for us to be aware of. So for Virgos, this is about, looking at, of a path. What is the path that you have forged, and are you satisfied with it? Know your value, know what you want to do, right? So if you're going to be stuck on what other people want you to do, then and continue doing what other people want you to do, it's not going to work out. Just saying. My Libras, what's happening for you? Aspects of your past return with a fresh meaning. Even small success deserves celebration. Step free of restrictions into 2021. As 2020 ends, do you feel a sense of achievement, satisfaction around how you have met challenges, or do you think you could have done more? Don't underestimate yourself or dismiss what you have managed to do, as the full moon appears in your 10th on the 30th. Recognition could be due, and sometimes we have to give this gift to ourselves. Reflecting on a job well done sets us up for bigger achievements for 2021. You are starting this fresh this free of heavy lifting and restrictions and have hampered you since 2018. Changes around home, family, resources can undertake now. So let's look into this from the 28th, when the sun is trining Uranus in your 8th. Ruler Venus shifts the talk to love or what you love to do. Those intentions for the year could invoke finally seeing the need to put yourself first as it squares Neptune in your well-being sector as on the 30th, and not get lost into the Neptune, because Neptune can really bring in some ecstatic, fabulous things, but it can also rip you right down. New Year's Eve brings up events and peoples and themes and connections with long ago and far, far away, as Venus opposes the North Node in your 9th. This could involve foreign people or places, the media, learning, or a big love, all descriptions. For you, 2021 is going to involve traveling back to the past, either in person or via mental or learning journey. Fated people, places, experiences will feature. Look back to 2002 and the wheel of life turns in a new way, but repeats a theme which began back then. So for all of you, go look in your journals. What was happening for you in 2002? In 2000 and 2002, I left Starbucks, and I ended up going and taking classes to start my own business. So I started MJ's Creation Supplies, which was a scrapbooking store. And funny thing is, I didn't know anything about scrapbooking. I just knew it was trendy. I knew I loved crafting, so I stepped into that. But it was through that, because I had to get a computer and the internet and get things set up. And I didn't really have a website. Doing websites back then was a bitch. So I didn't have a website per se. But I started to connect with a lot of people, like a lot of psychics, and I started connecting with things about herbs and really getting back into reading cards, like, finding out where I could buy some cards, getting back into crystals. I really wanted to look into gridding my store, and I felt like there was a lot of things that are going on there that I had to get back into. So 2000 and 2001, 2002 were door openers for me stepping back into my abilities, right? And start to really use it. And from there, I ended up doing Mother Mary's Mystical Offerings. And Mother Mary's Mystical Offerings was a store, a home-based store, where I created a kind of like a scrapbook magazine with items that you could purchase. And what we would do is that we would have home parties. So we had home witchy parties. So I had home witchy parties back at that time. And what I was doing is that I was going and having parties, and then people would buy whatever items that were there they could purchase. And if you were new, it was a place where you could come in and begin to ask questions. And sometimes we had themes for them. So we'd have these parties and we'd have themes, and have an altar party, have a goddess party, have a god party, cauldron party, calling of the quarters party. So we had different themes for the parties, and people would come and they would join me, and it was fabulous, fabulous. And at that time, I remember this one instance where I was having a party, and Kim, a dear old friend of mine, she was sitting there on the couch, and my eyes went like that. And she goes, "I felt that. What happened?" I said, "Did you feel who just walked in?" And she goes, "Yes." She goes, what is it? Like, she started freaking out. I said, "No," because we were talking about angels that night. I said, "That was Archangel Metatron that just walked in." It was fabulous, and everybody felt his presence because we were talking about angels, and I was talking about protection and protecting of my children. And I said, this is, these are the angels to call in, and Archangel Metatron, and people just felt this vibration. Like he came right through my front window and into my home and encompassed the whole house. It was absolutely fabulous. And it wasn't just me who felt it. It was the other ladies who were there participating in that party that night. It was awesome. And sometimes I did mini readings and stuff for them. So look back at that. Look back at those times, because there's things that are going to come forward for you from then. Things that, for me, how much I have branched off and how much I've been doing since 2002, 2000 and in that time, and stepping into where my calling was to be a psychic medium. And my calling even back then was to be an astrologer, but I backed away from it. I dabbled in it. I studied the moon, and I studied the moon phases and things along like that, and some of the planetary aspects, but I didn't get really into reading charts till quite a few years later, and started to read charts. And it's amazing when you start looking at how that conjunction, that Jupiter Saturn conjunction that happened in Taurus, that was a foundational one. It happened in Taurus, and bringing in that foundation that we needed, and bringing in that new foundation of how we need to create something new. Now it's in Aquarius, and that foundation of what we want to create is in air. It's intellectual. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And still stay within your soul self, right? Still stay within your soul self. That's the key, right? You got to stay in your soul self. As we move along. From Libra, we move to the notorious, the scary, the most that keeps. I was talking to my Chantel the other day. She goes, "Thank God for Scorpios, because Geminis used to be the most. People say Geminis are one of the most hated, but hey, Scorpio can bounce that." So in comes Scorpio. What will you do for love? Up your expectations. Launch into 2021. So what do you want love to deliver in you for 2021? Uranus is in your 7th, has been asking this question, and will continue to do for the next year. What will or won't you do for love? Who needs are changing, and relationship shifts may reflect this. You need the love that involves your soul. If you are a settled phoenix, joint plans or goals for the upcoming year may be up for discussion this week, as the sun is in your 3rd, trines Uranus on the 28th. And also, big plans for the future under the full moon in your 9th on the 30th. Get ready to launch. Woohoo! I'm ready! Singles should be seeking the love that adds something. Emotional support, for instance. Ahead for the new year. Think about qualities you truly need in partner. The reversed list you could come up with may surprise you. The same goal for settled too. You are, I got to learn to read here. You are after a heady combination of freedom, closeness, and partnerships and sharing. And you're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve that. If you come up short in a past relationship, Venus in its ruling 2nd squaring Neptune in your 5th sees you determined not to make the same mistake again. You will be looking closely at your expectations around how you are treated and rewarded, treasured and valued by others, personally and professionally, on the New Year's Eve, when Venus opposes the North Node in your house of empowerment. Love adds up to more for the coming year for you. Know your value. Don't be afraid to state your worth. Yeah! Scorpio. So love can deliver in 2021. Yes, Scorpio! You're on the love train. I think I need a drink after that. So how's everybody doing out there? Guys are so quiet. I have my waters. I have my coffee. So what's going on? We're going to go on. Let's see who else is up on board after Scorpio. Of course, we have Sagittarius. So from death into the heights, we go to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, what comes full circle? Every relationship is a reflection of a part of you. New year, the new year, or this new, as we call it, this now age of new you. Venus is in your first, is about your power to attract, which all revolves around how you look and feel. As 2021 begins, it is a time to Fab Five yourself, or simply resolve to celebrate your gorgeous more in the coming year. Changes to your outer environment, as in your home, may also need to reflect this emphasis as the Venus squares Neptune in your fourth. When it comes to transformation, you're vibing off the full moon in this sector of your chart on the 30th. You also have the sun in your second, trining Uranus in your sixth, investing more in what makes you feel good, as in food, exercise, and could also form a part of your new year, new look, new me mindset. There's a big link to past loves. Venus meets the South Node in your first on New Year's Eve, which means it opposes the North Node in your seventh. Love, karma, full circle begins again for others. What or who do you say I do to back in 2001 or 2002, for instance? Partnerships of all descriptions, past, present, and potential, will continue to have a karmic flavor in 2021. If this involves a new person, the theme could be familiar. What changed could be how you see yourself, or perhaps a person who saw back, perhaps a person who saw back then the person you could become today. Love sees others, our best possible future self. Someone or one relationship in particular reflects this. This could even be your own vision for you. So live it up for 2021, my little Sagittarius. I mean, you guys have been with that South Node there. Now Venus with that South Node. The one thing is that you don't want to get lost in the disillusions as it is squaring Neptune. And the thing is that Sagittarius are part of our belief systems. And a lot of our belief systems are being blown out of the water, and how we believe, what we believe, who we can trust, who we can't trust. And the thing is that for Sagittarius, especially with that South Node there, this is for you to actually look across the pond, look at the energies of the North Node in Gemini, and look at what is it that I need, what is the knowledge I need now, what is the information I need now, and how can I take that forward into what it is that I desire and what it is I want to do. You know, and that's a big step, right? That's a big step. So looking at, because Gemini's bring in knowledge, right? They it is the third house they rule. So they rule electronics and newness and new things and new information. They're like the Page of Swords. They're new. Something new is coming in. And so it's to learn that, to understand it, and to bring that into your realm in all that you are doing as you are going forward into 2021, and not get lost in the disillusionment of all the past and what you think things should be or how you think things could be. That means that you are going to start wearing the crazy dunce cap. And we don't want the Sagittarius to wear the crazy dunce caps, because that's what they have. They have the dunce cap. And that's not what we want. We want the expansion for you to carry on, to go into new heights. So to reach forward to that is so, so important, Sagittarius. Whew. As we move on to Capricorn, I bet you're feeling a little bit of a relief there with, people coming out, now people coming in, but hey. So this is look back at the past, but move forward into your future. Get a set of fresh expectations. Step into 2021 a whole lot lighter. If you want to know what the future has in store for us, all we need to do is visit the past. This applies to you especially this week, Capricorn. For one thing, you have Venus, the planet of love, in your 12th of the past, hearing from someone from the past before the new year begins is one aspect Venus squaring Neptune, which rules your 12th on the day of the full moon in your 7th. If you are looking back at the past this week, common practices as one year ends and another year begins, please don't get into nostalgic about it or indulge in self-blame or regret. The sun is in your 1st, and it's going to trine Uranus, the planet of the future, in your 5th on the 28th. This is about looking forward, not backwards. By all means, revisit the past so you see how you created the present and may impact your future, but don't live in it anymore. Okay, so this is you got to notice it. It's like me. I noticed this is what I did. I'm not going to go back to the year 2000 and I had 4 little kids. I'm not going back there. I'm not, just saying, I am not. So make any choices. Having gathered up any lessons and looked at how things could possibly unfold as you result, ask yourself if you want the same as before or something different this time around. It's not just one year that is coming to an end, but an entire cycle, especially as you are now free of heavy weather in your 1st. New Year's Eve offers a further lighten your future as Venus opposes the North Node in your 6th. This brings a cycle for full circle for you. You can repeat it or start afresh. Look back 19 years if you are old enough to choose to your choices then and how they made you up. And can you link them to where you are in the present? The choice is easy. If you want a fresh look, opt for something different. Dare to be unpredictable. Wow, that's something. That is something, my little Capricorns. Dare to be unpredictable. I think that's going to be a huge challenge for you this year, but this has been a huge year of unpredictability. So being unpredictable, being this energy of unpredictability, this should be easy for you, because you've had Saturn in the 2 biggest dudes weighing you down for the past, 3 years. Pluto's, he's there, and he's going to be there till 2024. So he's going to be there for a while. What is this?
Forks.
Where did you find the forks?
Well, my mommy gave them to me.
Your mommy gave them to you. There's a fork and a knife. Wow. Want to go put them in the sink? Thank you. We have an issue with forks in the house. Just an FYI. That's why it was like, oh, we got forks, Mama. So Capricorns, change. Be open to be willing to change. Okay? That's a huge one as we enter into my lovely Aquariuses. Refine those values. Less is more for 21. New year, now age. It's not just the start of the new year for you, Aquarius, but the beginning of a whole lot more. There is still some life gardening to be done, however. Maybe some dead wood to be cut back. You got weeds to be pulled. This week also is for you to shed everything from ideas to stuff to situations that keep you tied to the past, especially on the 28th. When the sun in your 12th trines Uranus in your 4th, look to not just how you want to be living in the year ahead, but what you actually need to take with you into it. Chances are less ends up being more. You are aided by the full moon in your 6th on the 30th, and this is your house of habits, routines, your day job, and your well-being. In other words, it shines on what does you good and what you no longer need. What do you need in 2021, my dear Aquarius? More from love. Venus is in your 11th of your future and love of your friendship squares Neptune, and Venus is ruling 2nd on the day of the full moon. New Year's Eve also sees Venus opposes the North Node in your 5th. Romance, children, lovers, who can make up a partner, a step partner, or a parent. So who could be making up the parent or the step parent, the aunt or the uncle, or the glam parent. future now. So you can be, this is creativity, as this is your child of your imagination and spirit. Look back to 2002, and if you're old enough, you'll see the clues. These themes around love are returning for the new year. Make room for them to grow, but ditching what stunts your growth. Let it go. So let it go. And I sneeze, so that's a good thing in doing that. So it's letting go, looking back, seeing what you need to do to bring in the positivity in the future for your own self. And last but not least, the inevitable, the little one, the little fishies. We got Pisces. And what does Pisces have to do? Wow. Who you know has a role in your journey. You have your dreams for a reason. Get ready to expand your world. Own your dreams and your path for the future as your new year arrives. Just understand that every journey doesn't actually begin with a single step. That's actually the next one. Every journey begins with a dream. The sun in your house of future trines Uranus, which rules this in your third on the 28th. You could hear news or from someone who will bring in something big bearing on the year ahead. But this is also an excellent transit under which it began to turn the dream into a goal. The full moon on the 30th puts you in a dreamy, playful, romantic mood, and you will be seeking ways to express this. This is a full moon for your own end of your year's celebration with someone special, or to immerse yourself in something you love to do. Venus is in your 10th of status and success and squares Neptune in your first the same day. And it reminds that when it comes to your dreams, you need to have an action plan, hence the next step. Did you imagine you would or do or accomplish something in the past, started and then go only so far? Or did you just dream it but not commit it all the way? Alternatively, did you succeed in what you set up to do or need in your dreams? Look back to 2000 and what you have started and then or wanted to. You have an opportunity to begin as Venus opposes your North Node in your fourth. This is also about self-directed future. Others may have a vision and take the first step serious towards it for the first time. 2021 wants you to do more than dream. Dream first, then take the first big step into your journey. Wow, that is totally incredible. So there's a lot of positive energy that's coming through for everyone for 2021. A lot to do, as I said, from 2000, 2001, and 2002. If you're old enough to look back that far, you know, this is about looking at events, things that seeds you might have planted and you totally forgot. So this could be like this, you know, oak tree, you planted the seed, 20 odd years later, it's starting to sprout. Or maybe it's that, a lot of people got, I don't know if it was in kindergarten or grade 1 or 2, that you got trees and you brought them home and you got to plant them. You know, go back, if you're able to go back, take a look at that tree and where it is, right? How big it's sprouted since then. And what more is coming in for you. A lot of times when we are wanting to do things, that we overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in 3 or 5 or 10. It is amazing that where you start and you start to build something in your life from years ago and how it has grown, even for myself, how it was growing, and listening to my guides from, back from 2016, that I started hearing, you got to get online, right? You got to start doing things. And I think on Periscope, I started on Periscope, I think it was 2015 or 2016. Like Periscope was already up for about a year before I started on there. And it was freaky as hell because it's a live scope. Like there's no editing on Periscope. It's live. Here I am in my rawness, in who I am. This is it, right? So stepping into this, you don't know where it's going to lead you. Periscope has led me to meeting some of the most fabulous clients and people. Opened up doorways that I never thought it would open up for me. So stepping out and taking that chance on something, you don't know the end result. It just seems like really crazy and out there. And even though Periscope will be ending on the end of March, and I'll be going right to the very end of March with Periscope, but it is opening up new opportunities for something even bigger and better. And that's what we got to open our arms up to, and not fall into somebody else's narrative or their experiment of what they're doing. This is you creating this is your lab. You know, funny thing is when I go to Starbucks and people go to the to mix up their coffee, right? So they go to the condiment stand and they, you know, and I call it the science lab. I always called it the science lab. You know, I jokingly say when somebody comes beside me, oh, and I'm like, oh, what's your science experiment? And they look at me. I'm like, yeah, your coffee. It's your science experiment. What are you going to put in it? You're very particular on what you want in your coffee or your tea. You're very particular. People are particular. Are you a Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Are you 7-Up or Sprite? Are you red or white? You know, for wine. You know, you're very particular on what it is that you want on certain things. All right? So now we're expanding this and saying, let's get more particular on what are the ingredients that you want to bring forth into your life, your experiment. Right? And I loved it when the Leo King said that, because I just like, yeah, because that triggered me to the coffee station and you know, yes, let's get into the details of that. How many sugars do you want? How much cream do you want? Do you want cream? Do you want it black? Do you want it half full? Do you want more water? Do you want it strong? Do you want some kind of flavoring? Or do you want somebody to make it up for you and say, here, you got to drink this? Trust me, a lot of people will not drink my coffee. It's not exactly many people's cup of tea, right? Because this has 5 shots of espresso in it. So a lot of people, that's a lot of, like, to me it's nothing, but to a lot of people it'd be like, whoa, that's a zinger, right? So this is creating what you want to create for your experiment. This is what you want to do, and that is key for 2021, right? Oh, here comes my cute little Aquarius. Okay, thank you. So this is the key in what it is that you want to do. This is the key in how you want to create this. If you are falling underneath, remember I told you about the spell. The spell was Mercury retrograde in Pisces. He did it 2 years in a row. In water signs. 2 years in a row, Pisces retrograded in water. This year, he's retrograding in air. Even though he's going to retrograde in his own sign in Gemini, but still, and he's going to retrograde in Aquarius in January. So we have this energy that's coming in that has a lot of air aspect that we have to start paying attention to, because things and energies will shift air. Right? Have you ever, you know, it's just like if you watch, we used to there were these seeds that looked like little helicopters, and we twist them and we throw them up in the air, and they would float around, and we would watch them, right? And watch how they float around, and they would change directions. Or if anybody had one of those little gliders that they would make from the dentist, I mean, maybe I'm dating myself, they don't do that. The dentist used to make, you know, instead of getting a lollipop or whatever, we got gliders. I want it. And we'd make it, and then when you threw it, how it would go, or a kite, you know, and it get an undertow. That's what air is. Many times you think you're going in one direction and the air takes you to another one, right? Or if you've been driving on a highway and it says gusts of wind and you're hanging onto your steering wheel and these gusts of wind are coming in, but you have a destination, you got to continue on. You can't just stop or allow it to blow you off. That's your experiment. That's your energy. Because there are going to be gusts of wind. There are going to be things that are going to put in, you know, that are going to blow us off. So stay firm, stay in your light. That's the key. Stay within who you are, because there is so much coming forward for us. And we have to stay true to who we are. And that means that you are coming into the trueness of who you are. And it may be whacked out, crazy, funky, whatever it is. People may not, look and say, well, that's not who you are. And you're like, yeah, this is the true me, because I'm allowing myself to shine and be the crazy, funky, psychic medium, astrologer that I want to be. And owning it. Owning it is the key. Owning that is the key, right? Not allowing somebody else to own it for me. It's going to be crazy, baby. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be one crazy fucked up ride that we're going on. But it can be so fucking incredible. So, sending you out so much love. If you want to join me, there is one spot left. One spot left for peeking into 2021. If you want it, there's one spot left. And then that's it. Not two, one. Also, start the new year off right. Manifesting some cool ass shit starts January 1st. If you want to join me, we're meeting for 3 Fridays in a row. I have worksheets for people to do, and we will be tuning in. And I'm going to figure out, because I'm going to try and get us on Telegram and start a messenger group on Telegram. Don't know how, but anyways, I know I can do it. So that is going to be, for manifesting and stepping into your own power. And this is where I'm gonna let you understand, like, some of you might be projectors, some of you might be manifestors, some of you might be generators, some of you might be manifestor generators, right? But this is to understanding. That's why manifesting your cool ass shit starting January 1st is like getting to know and understand what is your gene key. What is your gene key on how you function in order to create what you want? Different people have energies that, you see them, they're out there, they can create shit like crazy. Others are just humming along. I haven't sent out the link yet, Amanda. I'm sending it out shortly to everybody. So everybody will be getting the Zoom link. So haven't done that yet. Didn't want to send it out too early, because then people will say, I didn't get it. And I'll be like, yeah, you did. Scroll up. So I'll be sending that out shortly to everybody. So all of you, sending you out so much love. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Thank you for being a part of my community and being a part of my world. So much blessings to you all. Don't let anybody distinguish your light. Keep on shining. Bye-bye.